Heller Dornier Do 27 Casa C-127 in 1:72 scale, 72 pieces, and the dimension on the finished model is 133 millimeters. I think that's the length, and the wingspan should be 176 millimeters. 4 decorations provided, website from Heller, and of course beautiful artwork. It can be cut out in the end, so it can be framed. On the back of the box, information about the plane: French, German, Italian, English, Spanish, and Dutch. There are also recommended paints. They are given in Heller codes and Revell. And here's more information about the product. And what I like the most about the new Heller kits, it's that the decal sheet is provided here as a photo, so it's available for you to see, and based on that, of course, the schemes itself are provided on the side of the box. So based on the decal sheet, you can also see the schemes provided. So, and front lid also have additional information and the usual on the sides, and it's a new designed box from Heller. It's a top opening flip box. So on the inside there's this gimmick provided by Heller, which I find always funny. So keep out, model building in progress, and when you finish, then you tell people to come in and see the model. And on the top it's also the instructions. Let's take a look at that. So this is an A4 format, so really big and nice instructions. I really dig the new minimalistic design from Heller. And again, the basic information about the airplane itself. So also the schemes provided, although here it's scheme B1, and so basically BA, BB scheme. So you cannot see the A scheme, or rather the B scheme here, but that's not an issue. So again, the color codes are provided on the top. I like that everything is in color. And of course you start in the cockpit, instrument panel, then the side of the cockpit, then engine and cowling, then you put the fuselage together, top part of the wing, bottom, or rather the other way around, and it gets assembled to the rest of the fuselage. Here is the decal sheet, and afterwards we come to the clear parts. So this airplane has a lot of clear parts, so I think it should require some additional care here to be glued down as it should be. There is also an option to do an open cockpit, so they instruct here to stretch some sprue so that it can be held up here. So this is that part, and of course the schemes in color. So this is the Luftwaffe one, so that's the German. I don't know if it's the active one because I see 2019 should be. but it's the usual here. So that's basically the army. And here is the French version. So there's variant A and variant B, and the only difference in this scheme is the additional graphic of a paratrooper going down with some flares. So I really like that they gave that option, because at least for me that one is too flashy. And at the end there's also the Casa, so I think that's the licensed version of the Dornier Do 27, produced in Spain for the Spanish Air Force. And yeah, it's rather dark. I think this is some kind of olive green color. So let's see if it's provided in the instructions with the name 101. So let's see, mid green matte. So yeah, basically some shade of olive. And of course they give here an ad for their color range, which is nice. I never got to try them, but I think it should be the usual acrylic paint story. And in the back there's also some social media information, and also invitation to visit the website to download the instructions if you need them additionally, or for maybe some other models. And of course service if there's some parts missing or damaged. I had the opportunity to deal with this customer service. Unfortunately, they didn't have the part in stock that was damaged, so I gave up basically. And I was surprised, after a few months I got an unannounced package at my door, and it was in a little yellow Heller box. And to my surprise, I found the part that I requested months ago. So maybe they're not fast, but they provide the parts needed. So let's get to the decals. Has a nice protective sheet, and they look really nice, at least for Heller decals, as far what they used to provide for models until the recent years. This is superb, and there's not a lot of protective film on them, so they should go rather nice. And I also like for this version, for the civil one, so basically the plane, the model just needs to be painted in white, and all the additional markings are provided as decals, so you don't need to paint any of this on the model itself. All is decals, so that's nice. So let's see what's in the box. So before I go further, I know this is a special hobby kit actually, so it got repacked by Heller. So the usual new thing from Heller is to protect the environment, to have it all wrapped in paper, not in plastic foil. But as this is a repack, the parts themselves are packed in as they came from Special Hobby. So that's that, and the box has nothing more in it. So. But yeah, I think the marketing of this reissue was to have it in a bigger box. Maybe the smaller standard box from Heller didn't fit, but you could almost actually fit 2, maybe even 3 of these kits inside. But that's not a big issue. a nice big box art is provided. It can be framed or put on the wall as inspiration, or used, I don't know, in a diorama when you want to show your model. But yeah, so let's get to the plastic parts. The Czechs and also all the East European model manufacturers followed this suit. They try to protect every part, so in this foil, so that's nice. So basically the main parts are here, and additionally there's a Ziploc bag for the clear parts. So we have one frame, second, third, and the fourth, and the fifth as in clear plastic for the canopy. Yeah, one part broke off here, and some of the main parts, but there's no damage. So, and with the zip bag, they are kept together, so no flying out of the box as in older models. So as said, this is special hobby plastic. So it also says here TO27 made by Special Hobby. So they did I think 2 cooperations with Special Hobby for the year 2022. It's this Dornier and a Mirage F1, I think. So I think that was a good decision to have an introduction from other manufacturers to a bigger brand like Heller. And of course, this tooling from Special Hobby is superb. It came out a few years ago, and this version from Heller, it's already being discontinued this summer. And the good part of it, it can be found at a discounted price. I paid for my €8, but the regular price was 20. So if you thought buying this kit, now is the time. But yeah, basically the parts are nice and clean, so no flashing there, so everything is crisp. The pen lines are fine. Here is the cockpit floor, landing gear, controlling surfaces, the front of the engine cowling, the cowling, right part of the fuselage, control sticks, some further engine parts, and from the other side it's quite detailed here in the cabin. So no additional scratch building is needed for this model. It's straightforward. So it looks quite nice. So let's take a look at the smaller spruce. So instrument panel, the foot pedals here, the seats, 4 seats provided, I think in different versions, and also passenger seats in the back. Some versions have it, some don't, especially the parachuting ones, so they're empty in the back. And from the other side, yeah, the usual. And of course, no ejector pin marks here, and unusual places, which is always good. Then on this sprue, the landing gear is provided, I think, in 3 versions, and also 3 versions of the, 3 versions, 1, 2, 3, no, 2 versions, but I don't see any big difference here. could be that they're weight, but I cannot spot a big difference, but there is a difference for sure. And of course, no ejector pin marks in unusual places. Maybe here it's a little bit undershot, so it could be a little bit difficult to fix that, but nothing special. And the last sprue in gray plastic is this one. So the top and the bottom of the wing, left hand side of the fuselage. No riveting, but the pen lines are quite crisp and should look nice when wash is applied. Also propeller in two versions. There are some pitot tubes. And on the other side, as was the case in the previous half of the fuselage, no ejector pin marks in unusual places or some problematic ones, and those two seen here could be easily fixed, but I think there is a part coming here, so I don't think they would be visual at all, especially this one and the front. So, as already mentioned, one part broke off. But what is left here is nice, crisp, no visual bubbles in the clear plastic, so it's high quality injection. And let's see if there's some magnifying effect there. Of course, there's some magnification and distortion, but that's the thing with this thickness of plastic, so about half a millimeter up to a millimeter. So the only alternative here is to have a vacuum formed canopy, but this is more than enough and sufficient, no need for that. It's quite nice. So that were all the parts from the Heller Dornier Do 27, or as it's called in Spanish license version, Casa C-127. And yeah, I already decided to go for this variant, so it shouldn't be that difficult to do. The only additional painting beside whites is the nose and I think the wheels here. And of course the propeller needs to be in silver, and it has some additional markings here, but yeah. Also the flashy version could be chosen, but I will go with this one. That was it. See you in the next one.